welcome to Endpoint Pulse.
Hi, Kris. It's a pleasure meeting you here. So, Kris, I think, doesn't need much explanation. He's such a popular figure when it comes to LinkedIn. Kris is a business partner. He heads the business operations for ManageEngine from Australia. So, Kris, it's a pleasure hosting you here for a podcast today. And of course, again, I welcome you for the Partners Meeting 2025.
It's great to be here. Interesting to see all our folks, and it's like literally being at home, catching up with our folks out here, sharing our stories, what happened in the last year. So
Perfect, Kris. So in fact, the pleasure is ours when you've got Kris on board. He carries more than a decade of experience from all his implementation and success stories in business. He's a principal architect from Australia, and he's the face of ManageEngine for Australia. So, Kris, 20 years of Endpoint Central.
Yep.
25 years plus in Zoho, 20 years of Endpoint Central. This year, Endpoint Central turns 20, and it's a pleasure for me to have you right at this stage, who has been with us throughout the success story. So, can you please explain us your journey?
Sure thing.
What you know about Endpoint Central and the evolution through Endpoint Central.
Well, 20 years, it's a long time, right? So surviving the market, cutthroat competitions out here, which is a big thing. It's a big milestone, I would say. Probably I might jumped in about 10 years, probably 6-7 years before. But with the 20 plus years of experience, from the way we managed to handle the patches and updates on Windows XP, or say at Windows 95, 98 days, I reckon. So from there, I do remember how difficult it was, right? So, and protecting the endpoints, that's pretty much everybody. Olden days, we have just desktops. Just one person, one machine, making sure that things are taken care of, it's well and fine. But think about it now. That's the evolution, right? So each person carries at least 3+ endpoints.
Wonderful. Kris, if I may interrupt here, maybe for the audience, initially when Endpoint Central was released, the product was named as Desktop Central. Just like what Kris said, we were just managing desktops and we were a part of client management tools.
That's right.
But we have withstood the transition for almost 2 decades right now. I mean, this is not exaggeration for me to mention. To be honest, yes, other than Microsoft, ManageEngine is the only other vendor who has been in business for close to 2 decades without acquiring a product and without any external.
That's a great thing, I would say. And in fact, we don't see Microsoft as a competition as such. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, because from the region that I'm in, say New Zealand, Australia, particularly, I'm going to pretty much focus on Australia now. There, majority of the business using Microsoft, either E1, E3 or business premium license, and that's by default. Pretty much every business that we go, they have Microsoft licenses or tool sets. So the strategy is how well our solution can work alongside in harmony, in synergy with Microsoft ecosystem. That's where it plays a significant, value proposition from, deploying Endpoint Central. The unique value proposition that I would like to highlight is when a customer is just a pure play Microsoft, it's well and fine. But when customer has a marketing team, so we can say MacBooks, or Linux servers, when they have multiple platforms, like multiple environments in the ecosystem, that's when it's becoming more challenging for them. On top of it, with the recent evolution of having more mobility devices, mobile phones, laptops, Chromebooks, and other devices that they use, it's becoming more complicated. And no single vendor does the whole ecosystem covered, whereas ManageEngine does that. And that's a unique value proposition, and in particular about third-party patches and updates and identifying threats from the third-party applications. A particular stats, stating it, at least a small business using bare minimum of 70 plus or 80 odd applications, a small business. If that's the case, all those 70 apps are supposed to be patched, updated, because they don't want to put their brand at stake. If a particular app gets breached or if a user gets compromised, then that's going to be a huge threat for the whole business reputation. So that's where it comes handy. So we play a very unique, play in supporting our customers and their whole ecosystem, and particularly the third-party patching. Even if they are pure play Microsoft vendors, we do provide a scope of third-party support and protecting the customers and strengthening their security for AS. That's where we play a nice, a smart game, I would say.
Wonderful, Kris. I mean, it's inevitable, right? Of course, there is no denial. Microsoft, they do a fair job when it comes to Windows. But of course, the third party, we need more tools. Right. Now, this begs a question. The market is evolving towards consolidation of vendors. That's what, the famous analysts predict too. So what is your comments on that, Kris?
Okay. I got 2 points to cover out here, right? So we need to segregate business into their maturity level. So there are some pretty big organizations who have a bigger budgets. They have a clear strategy, technology roadmap, and they have a strategy in place to pick a primary and a secondary tool sets to cover across. But in general, the challenge comes in when it comes to mid-market or a bit tighter on their budgets. But still they wanted to make sure, because security is a critical factor right now. And the other aspects is GRC, governance, risk and compliance, right? So any organizations, for them, they need to make sure that they have the cyber insurance. That's one of the critical aspects. How well they are making sure that the security controls are in place. To highlight, in Australia, Essential 8, the ISM security controls plays a crucial role. There's 8 major controls, and each controls has sub-controls in each and every aspects of it. When we deploy our Endpoint Central, pretty much we cover close to 80 to 90% of compliance to maturity level 3. That's the highest maturity level any organization can achieve. So that's where it comes handy. Okay, now coming back to the question here, right? So as an organization, when I'm talking to a business owner or stakeholders from the IT team or the other business stakeholders who's handling marketing or handling operations, etc., they have multiple business apps. And they have a specific business requirements to protect their own assets. Could be hardware or software assets, or what it could be anything, right? So they have at least 6 or 7 or maybe 10 vendors or 10 different solutions or 9 different solutions to handle specific, pain points that they have. They might be using a different tool for ransomware protection. So that's part of a package right now. And they might be using a different package like software deployment. They might be using OS deployment. They might be using a different tool as such. And for mobile devices, they might be using Intunes or some other tool sets to manage their mobile fleet as such. Plus, they might be having a different solution just for server management. But how about workstations? So workstations, that's actually, to be very frank, when I have a discussion, so the workstations has a low priority, but in fact that should have highest priority. In fact, from the workstation, user is an entity, and the endpoint, right? So these two, plus there's one more, a browser. That's a new entry point for people getting breached. So those things, they might have a different tool sets, and they need to protect the organization from all aspects, from whatever the connection that they have. So it could be a security broker or protecting any connection that goes out and coming in, and how the user is handling all connections to the app, and what is he downloading, where it's going, and stuff like that. And data security is another major player. So they have different solutions from different vendors for each and every pain points, right? That's where we make it easier. So consolidation of a vendor is one aspect. Having said that, there's one more flip side of it. Few organizations, they don't want to put everything in a same bucket. So they need to have a plan A and plan B, or at least a primary and secondary kind of alternative options. So just in case if something goes down, at least they have the other one to handle it. That's one of the best strategy, I would say. Again, but consolidation is majority. And what the customer expectation is about effectiveness, how easy and simple to deploy the solution, how we can make it easier for them, and how cost effective it is. So currently, any organization as a business owner, if I'm going to wear my hat, I'm going to see I'm spending X amount on this solution, solution A, solution B, solution C. So it goes on and goes, there's a budget allocated, and I might be spending X amount across all the solutions. But when we deploy our Endpoint Central solution, there will be a significant reduction in terms of their expenditure. And that helps, that itself is going to bring in a lot more return on investments for a business owner. And it makes it easier for the users with the digital experience, how well they are happy with the process, maintenance rings or patch rings. We might be deploying certain critical updates or definition updates or patch deployments or critical security updates or patch updates. So, but that might impact the user experience as well, how well they're using it. And the certain departments might need to use certain set of applications. So how well we can make sure that that application availability is there in their machines. It could be on a user profile or a computer profile. It depends on the organization environment. How well I can handle all these requirements. Where we, from the Endpoint Central perspective, we make it easier. Not just from management, it could be from configuration updates, as simple as a script consolidation of scripts and having it as a repository, and deploying those scripts as a packages, like consolidation of scripts, collections, and pushing it across to the target machines, either user profile or computer profile, and then the software deployment that plays a crucial role with the packages, and we can deploy it, make it available for the user's self-service portal. So we can deploy certain set of apps that's necessary for certain departments, and they'll be happy, right? So once they log in, yay, I have all the apps that I needed. I can download on my own leisure time. I don't have to wait for my IT team to come and help me out to fix things up. So those things are helping with the user experience, user digital experience. And the other important aspects is threats and patches, right? So again, it's evolving. We can't say we are 100% safe as such out here, right? So there is a 0-day vulnerability, and exploitation is always there. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But so far, till what we know, we should be able to make sure things are taken care of. And the weak link is human.
Very
and it's pretty much human. So machine, it does whatever we tell it to do, right? So if I'm going to click on a dodgy link, I'm getting compromised. And the machine gets compromised. The network gets compromised. The whole organization reputation goes in toss. So how we can make sure we don't let this human to make the error. So that's why we put those policies and processes in place, making sure threats are taken care and stuff like that. So that itself gets a lot more value for the system administrators, network administrators, CIO, CXO, even CEOs. Like, they are the people who are brand ambassadors of the organization. They need to make sure that their company is not there in the newspaper for a wrong reason, right? So, yep, we're doing great. Go to numbers and stuff, happy, but don't want to be a ransomware attack. I'm paying ransom, or I'm getting compromised, or my insurance is getting higher every year and year. So these are all the things to factor in.
I know, maybe I should stop Kris here for a while, because having, a person like Kris to host is very, you ask him one question, he's going to cover up everything in the product. That's the amount of experience he's carrying over a decade. So as you did mention, Kris, there is another side of vendor consolidation that which not many people realize. When we have multiple tools, they end up having multiple agents on a machine.
That's right.
So multiple agents, again, multiple updates, multiple processes, multiple services, the kind of complications, it just adds up to it. So that's wonderful to listen to your experience, Kris. Now coming back to another episode of security.
Yep.
Now, with almost 10 years of your experience with Endpoint Central, I would love to listen to your interesting stories from the customer.
Perfect. I think I already pointed it out earlier. So the weak link, it's a user. How we can make sure a user is protected from all means. We don't give him an opportunity to make an error. That's the best way to control and protect. That's where all the other global security compliance controls comes in play, right? So we have CIS controls, we have Essential 8, we have NEST frameworks. There's a lot of compliance and frameworks available. ISO 27001. So it helps. But again, it depends on the stakeholder, whether he follow through a specific compliance, making sure he follow it diligently and ensuring that it's putting it across in practice, or he's passing on the risk to an insurance broker. Cybersecurity. I know this is a risk that I'm going to take it, but something happens, I'm going to get it paid by the insurance. So again, it's the business stakeholder. Again, they are the key stakeholders who are taking a vital decision, right? So it's an important decision where they're spending their budget in terms of cybersecurity area. There's a lot of budget allocations right now. The recent, awareness in terms of security breaches, a lot of fines that they need to pay, and the laws and regulations that a company, if something happened, they need to report it back to the organization, the legal entity, and make sure that their customer data is protected. P2s and other critical aspects of it. If any organization transacting with their customers or external customers, internal staff, they need to make sure that the data protection is very vital. They can't let the data to go, it get exposed and wild, right? So those things have hefty fines to it. So we need to put a proper solution in place where it gives a complete security. And from Endpoint Central, it's very focused on endpoints. That's where the security aspects comes in, right? So one from endpoints and how well we have a visibility across the user, how well he is using that endpoints. What is he accessing? What endpoints he is accessing? What level of privileges he has in endpoints? Those are all the critical areas, and that's where we give that kind of a protection, protect the user. Next, from the endpoint level, where it's getting connected. So is there, and vulnerability management, the threats that we have, 0-day or any critical, breaches as such. So any 0-day vulnerability that we identified, any exploitation that we identified in our ecosystem based on the agent that it reports to the server, and the backend intelligence that we have from the SOC. So these things gives that kind of an insight to an IT manager or IT security manager that yes, my ecosystem is better. Okay, I have my marketing team, my patch rings in the marketing teams looks really healthy, whereas I see my administration team or operations team, they are a bit slacking in terms of their machines are not healthy, they are not complying with the maintenance rings or maintenance windows. The machines are not available during the maintenance window. So they can realign their strategies to make sure that machines are protected with multiple strategies, policies, deploying it and making sure things are taken care. Not just that, on top of it, our speakers, clearly they talked about the UK airport issues, right? How USB stick can destroy whole reputation, right? So we can't let any devices just like that plug into our entity, to our organization environment and make an issue. So we need to ensure that any devices that's connected in our office ecosystem is protected, right? So allow with limited control. So that's where the device protection comes in, device control comes in. Plus the browser. Browser is a critical aspect. Pretty much everything in my mobile, I can do literally all the work that's needed for my work. Just that it's going to be on a small screen, but I can connect it to a larger monitor and I can do pretty much what I needed. Every aspects, every applications, every websites that we access, it's all through the browsers, and we have a lot of cookies. Cookies can be manipulated. We have plugins, add-ons, extensions, and the extensions can be dodgy, plugins can be dodgy. So we got to be careful about what we click in a website, right? So those protection is very, 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 very vital. And user awareness on those things will be limited. So we can do continuous awareness training, security awareness training and stuff like that, but we need to have some sort of smart intelligence. So we have the buzzword called AI, but AI is there in every solution that we have. We need to have some sort of a smart checks on how this is accessed, what cookies are best, and what is the policy that I need to follow through when I'm downloading the cookies. It's supposed to be blocked by default, or I can take authorization from the user. Okay, I take the risk and I allow this. So these sort of controls needs to be handled. So browser plays a crucial role in terms of, and again, one of the important aspects apart from browser is the application control. So we already discussed about it. Each and every organization has about 70 or 80 odd applications. So how well they can control those applications, and shadow apps is a major threat for the phishing attack, right? So a user downloading some sort of a random app and that could cause a potential risk to the whole organization. And if we don't manage those applications, whitelisting those applications, first of all, we need to know what sort of applications are there in our office environment. So gray list of all the applications, whitelisting of applications that's allowed for productivity, and blacklisting of applications that's not allowed. We don't want a random person downloading some videos and a BitTorrent or downloading movies and stuff in our office network. It's get congested again, it's costing the company. So we need to have those kind of controls with application and privilege elevation in terms of applications. So those are all the critical aspects. And again, these controls are there in each and every kind of a normal global compliances. So say CS control, it's there. NIST, it's there. ISO, it is there. So pretty much in any compliance controls, and we can do custom compliance. So we could have a red team or any other internal consultant or third-party hacker to come and do a penetration testing and check what's the vulnerability that we have and how well we can protect it. Plus the other aspects from our tool sets from the data protection. So data leak prevention, how well our data is moving in our environment, what we are accessing, how people are accessing what sort of data, what data is going out of the organization. So we need to have a complete visibility across, and how we can protect. The only flaw, I'm not sure whether it's the right forum to say, we can't do airdrop, we can't email confidential data, we can't send an email, or we can't forward, we can't take screenshots. This protection is there from the mobile devices. So a lot of controls are there, but only thing, I don't know how we can, but probably Raja, you guys are having smart minds, but still I have a hack to take a copy of that data. I'm using my mobile phone, right? Using my mobile phone, I can I can capture the data from the other
Picture of
the other phone.
from another mobile.
Yeah, so that's the only flaw I've identified so far. I don't know how we can solve this.
This is a bit tricky.
But apart from that, I've tried all possible things. I was like trying to play things around and how well we can protect it. So it plays a crucial role.
Wonderful, Kris. So there are, such brilliant minds everywhere. And one of our customers walked up to us saying the same story. So that's wherein we gave him a suggestion. Every employee's device, be it his own device or the corporate owned device, we had certain restrictions imposed on them based on geography.
Yep.
Right? So if it is the employee's device, then he's going to come to the office, he's going to use his mobile. He's not allowed to use his camera.
Nice. Yeah, that plays a question. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so, but again, people business, right? So people trust people. So again, trust is again crucial. So needs to go hand in hand. The ultimate goal is to make it easier and make the cybersecurity easier for the organization and the users. Users don't feel the pinch and the pain.
That is very important. That is very crucial to it. As you did mention, users are the weakest things.
That's right.
Users are the weakest things. It could be a CTO, it could be a DPO, it could be a SOC team. But again, we have thousands of end users, thousands of employees, and the data keeps traveling across. As you did mention at the very beginning of the conversation, every user has 2 or 3 devices.
That's right.
So the corporate data travels across on all the devices. So securing the device is very crucial. Perfect, Kris. Now heading out to a different direction. So I know we started this conversation in the beginning of this episode. When we started off, our podcast, say your 10 years journey with Endpoint Central. I would love to hear one opportunity where Endpoint Central worked as a magic for one of your clients and the client was super.
Perfect.
I know that could be a lot of it, but maybe you can limit it to 1 or 2 sets.
Hey, this keeps, I would say, in the whole journey, there's a lot of interesting conversations that I had solving the customer challenges in particular. One was Windows 7 to Windows 10.
Migration. What is migration?
So it was one of the government council. They had challenges. So they use their internal Microsoft, deployment tool. They're finding it difficult. Their staff are limited, and the amount spent for each and every upgrade was quite significant. And they're spending each and every minute they spend on that day, it's costing money to the council. So, and they have more than thousands of devices to be upgraded and updated. So it was a Herculean task for them. So they reached out to us, asked, and luckily I was having Dan, who was handling US American right now. So I and Dan, we said, okay, no worries. I already discussed about it, and they already have a solution. So we told, yes, we can do it with our tool set. So we'll come and help you, how we can make it easier for you. So it was a nice journey. We traveled almost more than 2-3 hours to the customer's place. It's a government council. We sit with them. Literally, we have about 15-20 people with us. So, and what we did was we demonstrated how we can get it done quite easily. And there was initial gotchas because they're also having their deployment server running in-house, and that's broadcasting the MACs, and that's conflicting. So we identified, we told them, hey, turn it off. We can have only one deployment server in our environment, and boom, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I can see customers smiling. And there we go. Then we got that deal done, and they're quite happy, and all the others. So they started using pretty much, that was the main trigger, but they started using all the other features because they have a lot of PowerShell scripts. And their challenge, their main concern is, if that PowerShell, the engineer who designed that script, if he leaves that organization, what will happen? And if something breaks, what will happen? They don't have a consolidated repository stored in just a file folder somewhere. So that was the challenge. So he said, yeah, don't worry about it. We have the script repository. You can leverage all the scripts that's available, like reckon about 380 or 400 odd scripts that's made available out of box from our tool. Plus anything that's very specific to the organizations, we have an ability to upload it and make use of it as a collection or deploy that script to the selected target. So these are all the critical things, and that's been addressed. And then they started seeing the benefits of patch deployment and how easy to create policies, deployment policies, and align it with patch rings. So that was an interesting one for the Government Council. Second interesting story was customer has a difficulty in terms of, because they have it's a utility organization, so kind of a petroleum and gas, they distribute fuel to the whole region. So they were finding it hard to make sure that it's because of the complexity of their environment. So each and every teams, and they have machines in each and every location, so multiple VLANs, different networks and different setup. So it's so complicated. The way they were managing was nightmare for the whole team. They called us up and they were like finding out, is there any other solution in the market to displace the existing one? And it's not just the workstations, it includes their servers, it includes their other mobile fleet, their tablets and other devices. So it was interesting, and they have devices in each and every fuel stations, and that serves the fuel as well. So he was showing me they have, it was interesting. So I got the privilege to go check their lab and see. He was explaining that how they deployed our tool and protecting those endpoints. So they got endpoints in each and every fuel station. So
Is that like point of sale devices?
there's a point of sale, as well as it has an Android backend, and that takes care of some metrics that it goes back based on the payment, and it's pretty much an endpoint.
Okay.
So it does have OS built into it, and that's managing the control. So they have their own in-house application. Gets the job done for the fuel stations, right? So it was interesting. So they have multiple patch rings, and I was there along with the other engineers. So we sit together. We were discussing about how we can do it. So one is based on the remote office, based on each and every department, but that's like a old school. That didn't work for them, because every department has their own different VLANs, and they need to do it for each and every suburbs and each and every regions across. So it was so complicated. So what we did was we worked it out. Okay, you put a structure based on your HQ, your main zones, and we split the zones into two. So that comes under remote offices. But we created multiple remote offices based on that structure and the deployment policies around it. So each and every deployment, so each and every zone will have at least 7 or close to 10 deployment policies for each and every zone entity. That was a bit complicated, but once we got it done for a specific region, we're quite happy. Okay, we can easily replicate it for the other regions, and it makes it a lot more easier for them. They have a visibility across each and every zones. How many machines are healthy, and is there any critical security updates available or any exploitation in our environment. So they're quite happy with it. And the third story was more interesting. That's from an Australian customer. They challenge us, it's during the POC, right? So proof of concept. So the challenge was to have the compliance, essential 8 compliance deployed. How we can bring in that specific ISM controls. So I was thinking, we have the CIS controls out of box from our tool, from the compliance aspects of it. And we were able to find a CIS controls map to essential 8 compliances, but it's not 100% completed, right? There are certain CIS controls, specific compliance controls can be mapped to say essential 8 compliances. So it's easier, there is a mapping, but there's a manual work to be done. And again, we were thinking about it, most of the things pretty much the certain ways where we can address it, but suddenly something sparked in my mind. So what we did was created a policy, deployment policy for each and every specific controls that they need to address. So, and that's policy name, we changed it to those specific ISM controls.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So in that way, they also have a visibility of task report. So, okay, how many compliances? Okay, these are all the specific ISM controls that I have. Okay, these are all the policies that they've deployed. Okay, this controls is deployed and this. So that way it was easier for the customer. So that's another interesting story, but I would love to have like how we have the CIS controls right now, out of box compliances with specific sections. Likewise, if you can do it for essential 8, that would be great.
Point taken, Kris. I'll definitely take it back to Ritesh. I know he's trying to make use of every opportunity possible. So point taken. We are working, extensively on building our compliance story, strengthening it. So we'll work on it.
Perfect.
Great. So now, I know we have spent a lot of time. It was very interesting talking with you. Now, getting out to the AI, but we spoke about AI, we spoke about vendor consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any changes in the market, when it comes to choosing the product against competition?
Here is interesting. It's one of my colleagues used to be speed dating one of our customers. So generally, it's an AI forum, and he was there representing ManageEngine, and the people asking him about, hey, do you have an AI solution? There's no AI solution as such. So it's all about how well we use a large language, right? So somebody already did the job, making it easier doing the search engine. So there's no such things. But whereas in ManageEngine, I believe all our solutions have that AI built into it. Pretty much from the ZIA aspects, or even the DPR dashboard to a certain degree, it goes and checks everywhere. Gives that nice DPR, the data protection officer dashboard, and the digital experience DEX module from our application. So that's another interesting one where you can get that. And EOL, end of life devices. I reckon to a certain degree warranty, I'm not sure, warranty plays, if any, from the back end. There's a lot of things that's happening, right? So AI, and we have integrations as well. So from the endpoints, I would say it's mostly about digital experience. That's where it plays a crucial role. And also, if our AI can understand their network, how well the ecosystem. So it's pretty much understanding the customer's environment, what sort of deployment rings they have, what is their practice in general, and maybe after 4 months, I'm giving some feature updates or future updates. If it can, identify a pattern that this is how an organization does it, and if they have a best practices based on a similar organization, hey, this is where you're aligned to the global best practices, and you can refine these policies so that you are more aligned towards the best practices of industry standards. So in that way, AI can play more from our tool sets. But I reckon it's not a simple solution as such. AI is not a standalone solution. AI is part of everything that we do, pretty much.
Of course, it's undeniable, can be honest. Right. So Kris, it was a pleasure having you here. Nice talking to you. As a note of closing this podcast, I would love to listen a one-liner from you on Endpoint Central. 20 years of Endpoint Central, just a one-liner.
Make it easier for people, protecting people.
Oh, wonderful.
Make it easier and protecting users, pretty much. I'll not say endpoints. Endpoints, again, the ownership lies on people. So if you protect the people and all his endpoints that he manages, it makes it easier. That's what we do across multiple platforms. So one liner, we protect people, we protect the endpoints.
Excellent, Kris. It's a pleasure hosting you. Thanks for all the time that you've invested.
Thanks a lot, Raja. Cheers.